Returning now to our top story, Brisbane will host the 2032 Olympic Games. Joining me now live from Brisbane is Liberal MP and Scott Morrison's representative for the Olympic bid, Ted O'Brien. Ted, good morning. It's coming back to Australia. Have you had much sleep?
Actually, I haven't had much sleep, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. So, yep, we've got it. We've secured it, and 2032 is ours. So it's coming back to home soil, an Olympic and Paralympic Games right here in Queensland, in Australia. The third time we're going to have Australia hosting an Olympic and Paralympic Games. So, look, we're wrapped. We're absolutely delighted.
Absolutely. Such fantastic news for the country. How big will this be for Australia and particularly the economy as well?
Look, I think it's going to be huge, and it starts immediately now to think that here we are in the midst of a global pandemic, probably some of the darkest days that the world has seen in decades. And the IOC, that doesn't make decisions like this lightly, has looked to Australia and said that is where we trust the future of the Games to be. We've got to use this opportunity, not just for 2032, that's 11 years away. We've got to start using it immediately, because what it says to the world is there is a safe haven, and it's Australia. There is a country that is stable, secure, that is managing COVID, that is getting back in terms of its recovery and has a really positive vision for its next chapter. That's Australia. So there are trade, there are investment opportunities, there are policy opportunities for reform in terms of health and education. And that's before we even get to sport. So, look, this is an enormous opportunity. Now that we've won it, it's our responsibility to use it. And that means starting today.
Absolutely. And what do you think brought the decision over the edge?
Oh, look, I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion as to what really won this. If I reflect back to a discussion I had with the Paris 2024 organising committee for their games. And, you know, Paris is arguably one of the greatest cities in the world, right? They lost bids several times. But once I heard their plan for 2024, the first question I had for their CEO wasn't about how great Paris is, but why did you lose a few times? What tip can you give Australia? What can we learn? And his response was immediate. He said unity, political unity. The one thing that'll make your bid is unity. The one thing that'll kill your bid is unity. And so what we have been focused on under the leadership of the Prime Minister is to ensure we have that political unity. With all the fights we have in Australia, and we are a very strong, robust, liberal democracy. We fight. That's our system. But when it came to this Olympics bid, we made sure that we were critically united. And the Prime Minister is the one who really has to take a lot of credit for that, because he just kept steering the ship, and together then with the Premier, the Lord Mayor, the opposition parties, this is a Team Australia moment, and everybody deserves credit.
Well, there's been a lot of criticism about Anastasia Palaszczuk making the trip to Tokyo, but now that Australia has won its bid, did she make all the difference? Was it the right decision to send her over there?
Look, I think everybody deserves credit through this. There are people who nobody will know the names of, who have been beavering away for years in the back office. These are the ones who really deserve the credit. But look, when it comes to the issue of the Premier travelling to Tokyo, there's no doubt that was a controversial issue. And if you look at the people who, are signing petitions against her trip, it wasn't about the Olympics per se. It was about quarantining. It was about, separate from the Olympics, the Premier's view on cutting back on quarantining numbers. It was a COVID-related issue. And the good news is the International Olympic Committee recognised that. They knew that this wasn't a matter of Australians saying, oh, we don't want the Games, don't go over because of the Games. They knew this was an issue due to quarantining. And the IOC are members of the planet, and everywhere on the planet, COVID-19 is just running riot. And so there's a great understanding of that.
Well, it's certainly wonderful news. Terrific for Australia. Ted O'Brien, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.